Hey, welcome back for FHA home loans. So, FHA are wonderful loans. I would say for someone that is not VA eligible, and if the home is not USDA eligible, FHA is really one of the most flexible loans out there. It has allowed thousands and thousands of families that couldn't otherwise qualify for a conventional loan qualify for FHA, get a wonderful interest rate, low down payment, and purchase that home and start building equity. So, what does FHA stand for? Federal Housing Administration. These have a 3.5% down payment minimum. And like all these loans we're talking about, just because it's a minimum doesn't mean someone can't make a higher down payment. I have clients all the time that choose to make 5%, 10% down FHA because that's the best option for them, the best financial scenario that fit their needs. Again, like all loans we're going to talk about, gift funds are allowed for down payment and closing costs. Make sure we explore that. Make sure we ask the home buyer if they have anyone that can gift them those funds. The loan limits on FHA statistically and historically has been lower than conventional. So for our area, $524,225 is the loan amount. But as we know with the market, that covers a wonderful amount of homes in our area. And so we do have the flexibility to go FHA on many, many homes in our local area, Georgia, South Carolina. Our minimum credit score here with my company with Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group is 600. So we can go down to that 600 credit score range. And just a word of caution, there are a lot of lenders out there that will advertise credit score minimums lower than 600. Some lenders have more flexibility on this. However, you need to really make sure your home buyers investigate that and ask all the questions that may entail, because oftentimes loans that have lower than a 600 requirement on the credit score may require 10% down as an example. They may require a few months worth of reserves. So just a word of caution there. If you hear that, just make sure your home buyers and your clients ask what that entails, make sure they're covered, make sure they know what they're getting into well up front, because there can certainly be some fine print with those other programs and other lenders that may be more flexible. Okay. FHA loans are for primary residence only. So you cannot use an FHA for a vacation home. You cannot use FHA for an investment property. So, well, Aaron, I heard of a home buyer that rents their FHA financed home out. And yes, that is true. So this always comes down to what is the buyer's intent at the time of purchase. If when they're purchasing that home, they buy it as their primary residence and they live in it after closing, that's perfectly fine. And let's say 2 years after they bought their first home with an FHA loan, they want to buy that next home. Maybe their family's growing, or maybe they move to a completely new area. They don't have to sell that home that they have the FHA loan on. They can keep that home financed, they can rent it out to tenants and build a portfolio that way, and that's perfectly acceptable, and FHA does allow that. But again, it all goes back to what is their intent at the time of purchase. So they have to purchase it as their primary residence at the time of purchase. One of the misconceptions with FHA loans is, well, they're meant for moderate to low income, people with struggling credit. You have to be a first-time home buyer, and that's not true. FHA loans have no income limits. They have no first-time home buyer requirements. So anyone can take advantage of an FHA loan. Most of my first-time home buyers that I work with that are not VA eligible end up choosing FHA. Just because someone has a larger down payment, even comparing conventional to FHA, doesn't mean FHA isn't the better way to go. So that's one thing we focus on, and what I really encourage with my clients and folks that you refer over that we work together with is, let's look at the options and let's help select the best loan option for you. So that's FHA. Again, reach out to me if you have questions on this. Happy to be a resource for you. Happy to be a partner in this. And join us for the next one.